This week, Rhea and I are headed down for an educational ride as we visit the Brianhead area and learn about some of the aftermath of the fire that burned across nearly 71,000 acres of Utah's landscape. Then, we're headed down to Richfield as the Friends of the Paiute Trail host the 2019 banquet, which this year will feature an introduction into the Hall of Fame, a worthy prize for one of our greatest friends. Finally, we're headed out to the Bonneville Salt Flats to recap the most popular event on the Salt as we visit the 2019 Speed Week. It's all racing your way right now. At Your Leisure is next. You know, there are a lot of people who put their motorhomes away for the year, but we know a place where you can have outdoor fun all year long.
You got that right. And that is right here in Panguitch, Utah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Rhea Rossi Booth.
And we are down here at the Hitchin Post. This is a place where you met Randy a few years ago, and it's grown a lot. And we are down here to kind of dispel some rumors.
Yeah.
About the fire. Okay, the Brianhead fire kind of ravaged the hillsides around Panguitch, but it's making a comeback, and it provides one of the most unique off-road riding opportunities in the world, and we're just getting ready to set out.
That's right, we're heading out with the Garfield Rough Riders, and I got one of those hats, Grr, which I love, and we cannot wait to ride because they said it's absolutely beautiful right now.
Now I know what it is you say to me all the time when you look at me, Grr, you're saying Garfield Rough Riders. I get it. I get it. Okay. Well, let's share with you some of the beauty and majesty and mystery on this ride.
So I'm a full-time RVer, and I wanted to go see different state parks, national parks, looking at different areas. I keep coming back to Panguitch for at least 3 months of the year because it's so beautiful. This area, you can ATV, however, it's not crowded. You know, there's not a lot of people here on the trails. You can go, and I can get off and hike without hearing the rambling of other ATVs.
Well, you can see areas where the trees are just devastated, burnt to a crisp, as you've seen in our travels today. But then in between those, you can see 4 to 5 foot quaking aspens coming up in their place. And that's what will probably take over this entire area, is the quaking aspens. It's amazing how much drive Mother Nature has. This area being devastated as it has been, and to see all the life coming up from the ground is just amazing.
So whether you're looking for the post-apocalyptic experience or seeing the new beginning of life, this trip really is a worthwhile trip because you'll see it all.
And really, it is a beautiful trail just because you are seeing, like, you know, the ravage of the fire.
That's Melissifant's forest from Sleeping Beauty.
Right. But then again, you're seeing all this beauty of the green and the new sprout and the rebirth. It's gorgeous.
Somehow that's tied to the Lion King, I'm sure.
Yeah, so it's like a Disney movie. You guys need to come out here. It really is a beautiful trail.
Well, right now we're going to take away from this trip, let you think about it, and go to our Where To adventure for this week.
What does it take to stand apart? Is it simply a desire to succeed that lands you in the history books? That helps you stand the test of time? Or is it more than that? Today, we're headed to Bonneville Speed Week to follow the record-shattering Team Besco to find out.
Well, we're at the Bonneville Nationals. It's the 71st, I believe, Bonneville Nationals. Back in the day, the old days, there was about 50 entries, and now we have like 500.
This event is the big one. Speed Week is the big one. The first weekend especially.
This event brings together hundreds of people in this one-of-a-kind place, each team with hopes of being the one who makes their mark. For those who do, the experience is truly life-changing.
We are the fastest wheel-driven car in the world. And we also have the national record, which we set last year in September at the USFRA meet.
I
drove the car a couple of years ago, and that was my first time over 400 miles an hour. It's hard to explain, but it is very exciting. Actually, what I got in it was a very euphoric feeling. I felt almost weightless when I was about 430 miles an hour. And it felt great. It was the most exciting thing that I've ever done. You have to actually come here to experience the salt flats, but it's a very serene place to be.
This truly unique location makes this event possible, and the drivers and teams know it. And they're fighting to keep this breathtaking landscape alive through the Save the Salt Foundation.
It's just a matter of getting everybody on the same page and just committing themselves to taking care of this historical area.
And it has made a difference. Now there's noticeably more salt in the last 2 years.
Foundations like Save the Salt will not only keep the salt flats intact, it will save land racing for the future generations, keeping families like Team Vesco together.
I've been driving Vesco Streamliners since the late 70s.
Yeah, it's fun. Everybody just has a great time coming out here. A lot of old time. My kids all grew up with the other kids and families out here, and so they get to see each other a couple times a year, and that's kind of neat.
As long as my team shows up, I'll be here.
Even through the tough times, this team stays together. While they didn't make it to the finish line today, they're looking positively to the future, and you can see it through the smiles on their faces.
And it doesn't always happen. Like today we got on the starting line and they said it was time to go, so we put the car in race mode, and once you do that, you better put your foot down. And then they stopped us and said the car prior to us didn't get off the raceway. And they held us for 5 full minutes, and the car got up to where I think the EGT limiter said time to shut it off, so the computer shut it down.
Everybody's having fun. We all have the same problems here, so nobody's immune. If you have issues, well, it's just not your day.
The next time Team Vesco takes to the salt, we'll see you there. For At Your Leisure, I'm Joe Davis.
For as long as I can remember, this is what we do. Rising early to take on the desert, owning our freedom, ripping our own lines in the sand, launching outside our comfort zone, chasing our friends to the horizon, and then back to the campfire. We're built for good times that last forever. But we are never able to get enough. This is what we do. Every weekend, every month, every year, we ride Can-Am.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Scott the Huntsman at my Tunex shop in West Valley. This is what's new. This 2001 Suburban has suffered a detrimental transmission failure. These folks use this for towing as well as just traveling this great state of Utah. thousands of miles per month. They run about 25,000 miles per year. We're going to take this transmission out. We're going to figure out what happened to it and what the best solution is to get it back on the road and get them back traveling again. Let's go on inside and get started. Okay, we have the transmission out of the vehicle. I've taken it to the bench. I've disassembled it. I know now what's going on with it. This sprag, also known as a one-way clutch, has failed. The failure of this part created a shock wave through the drivetrain that in turn did damage to a planetary gear set. This should be one piece. As you can see, it's two. These are some of the improved parts that we're going to install into this transmission. The improved parts are the key to making this last the long haul. If you were to get a crate transmission or a complete transmission ready to go in the vehicle, it may not necessarily have these improvements done, which is why it's good to come to us and let us install all those updates for you. Also, this clutch material. These clutches internally in the transmission, although they don't have a lot of wear, will be replaced with new. Here is a sample of a new one. The new one is a good material that's very durable and improved over the stock design. All right, while I'm doing the transmission build on this vehicle, this is also a good time to inspect some other components that are critical and important. One of them being on the back of the engine is the flex plate. The flex plate is connected to the crankshaft and then drives the torque converter of the transmission. It allows slight bits of movement and irregularities, but can crack. This one looks good. Also at the same time, this is a great time to check for a rear main engine oil seal leak. If we wanted to put a rear main engine oil seal in, this would be the time to do it, and we may just do so with this. Okay, so the next part I'm going to check is the drive shaft. I'm going to make sure that the slip shaft is in good condition and the seal will not leak as a result of it. The universal joint should be tight and move easily without any problem, as well as the entire shaft should have no bends or damage to it. This one looks good, so it's going to go right back in. All right, guys, we're almost to the very end. My build is complete. I got a fresh coat of paint on the case. This unit's ready to go back into the vehicle. It's going to work well. We have a remanufactured torque converter to go in as well. Now, one of the biggest enemies of an automatic transmission is heat. So for that, I'm also going to install this aftermarket auxiliary cooler. The cooler we can keep this transmission, the longer it's going to last. All new fluid's going to go in it as well. It's going to turn out good. I'll final road test and ensure it. Again, our build with all the updated parts is the best build. A crate build may not have all of those, so we're saving this customer money. I'm Scott Huntsman at TuneX. More at your leisure in a moment.
Fly higher. Go further. Do more. Pursue your passion with Polaris, the world leader in off-road. Live wide open in a high-performance RZR. Chase adventure on a legendary Sportsman. Or get more done with a hard-working Ranger. Enjoy savings up to $3,500 during the Polaris Factory Authorized Clearance.
Hi, my name is Spencer Cox. I'm the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Utah, and I'm the new spokesperson for Ride On. Ride On is a unique partnership between all the land managing agencies in the state of Utah to maintain trails, to advocate safety, to advocate wise stewardship amongst all of us who use these trails. And I'm doing it because trails matter to me. This is important for my children. I want them to be safe, and I want them to be stewards of the trail. If you would like more information, go to ohv.utah.gov.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. We are standing in 3 Mile Creek Canyon Trail, which is, stop it. I gotta put up with this all day, you guys, all day.
Okay. 3 Mile Creek, I think is what you were
I thought
trying
it
to
was
say.
3 Mile Creek Canyon.
Well, it's a 3
Well, it's a
Mile
trail.
Creek Trail. And it's probably in a canyon because there's a bottom down here and it's got water in it.
Yes, and it's absolutely spectacular. The trees, there's like a whole diverse number of trees here. They're all different.
Yeah, like a horticulture.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we have left the pinyon juniper. We're about 8,000 feet. And now we're sitting up here in conifers and aspens. That's all. There's a blue spruce right there, and there's ponderosa right there. There's a wide variety, a surprisingly wide variety of pines up here.
Yeah, it really is cool. I mean, it just reminds me of just like if I was a lumberjack, I would like take those little hooks and go all the way up to the top because they are straight as straight can be.
But
those are like pole
way up north
pines.
to Alaska with John Wayne. Did
That
they
one.
do that? Yeah.
It's
Well,
beautiful up here.
Well, right now we're in the end of what most people think is a riding season, but there's a long recreation season in this area and on this mountain. Let's find out about it.
Out of Panguitch, we're presently putting signs on 10 master trails that will encompass over 250 miles. City of Panguitch, Town of Hatch, Garfield County Tourism, and the state of Utah is partnered up to build these 4 kiosks that we're installing. 3 of them will be here in Panguitch. There is one down in the town of Hatch. I myself ride about 5,000 miles a year, and I don't think I've covered all of them yet. I'm not sure you could ride them all in the summer's time. You see the devastation, but you also see the new life. I think that the best way to do that is to get out, whether it be on ATVs, UTVs like we are today, bicycles, hiking, and you can come up through this particular trail today that we're on, 3 Mile, and see how the land is restoring itself. Club is the Garfield Rough Riders, formed 2 years ago this January. The club has been very active. In fact, the club has built 2 of these kiosks ourselves. 2 of them is done by the state. You can contact me personally, 435-477-2400, or you can go to our Facebook page, which is Garfield Rough Riders.
So, as you can see, you never run out of things to do. It's a big, long season with a ton of events that goes on down here in Panguitch.
Honestly, this club, these guys are awesome. The Garfield Rascally Rabbits,
right?
The Garfield Rebel Rousers. No, it's the Garfield
Rough Riders.
Rough Riders. We love them.
I knew you'd remember
But
that.
really, this is an awesome club, and there is so much to do down here. You never run out of stuff to do.
That's right. With this and the rally, it's great. But we don't want you to miss what's coming up next, so you pay attention right now to our Along the Way.
The Friends of the Paiute Trail banquet that we're having tonight is a fundraiser. Those funds that are raised go directly back into the trail system for maintenance, for bridges and all kinds of things that go on the trail system. We raise funds throughout the year, but this is by far the biggest fundraiser. This is where the bulk of the money comes from in order to operate the committee and in order to do the things that we do.
The Paiute Trail started in 1988, and there was a few shakers and movers that saw the vision. It was kind of like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. And there was some individuals that really worked hard to make the Paiute Trail system the best of the best in the country. We have created the Paiute Trail Hall of Fame.
And tonight, we're going to add a couple of more names to this plaque. Phil Thompson is one of the individuals that we are going to add into this Hall of Fame tonight. Phil was responsible for a lot of the mapping, the standards that you see out on the trail system, the signing standards, the difficulty rating standards. Unfortunately, we lost Phil in 2012, and he has been missed. He's been sorely missed.
Yeah, he's been gone for, a few years now, and so it makes it extra neat to see this all happen after he's gone. Feels like a great honor. I mean, he put a lot of effort into it. He was very proud of it. He really enjoyed working with all the people who were involved on it. He always talked about it. He enjoyed his job. It's a rare thing these days to enjoy your job, and he did.
Fred Hayes, he was a tremendous shaker and mover and had a lot to do with the Paiute system. He was our source of money. The early funding came through Fred and his position with the state of Utah. Smile on his face says it all. That was the way he was. So Serena, hopefully you find a place to display that. Thank you for coming. One last round of applause for Bill Thompson and Fred.
It makes me feel good for him. He worked very hard with the trail systems all over the state of Utah. And I think he would be pleased, but very, very humbled by this. He loved to just get on his wheeler and go places that he couldn't go on foot. And he just very much loved nature and the beauty of it. He wanted everybody to be able to enjoy that.
There's a little place on a Utah map where I was raised, where my heart's at, where the sagebrush grows wild and high, and the stars come out at night. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the basin with a Ute reservation, skiing starvation, that Duchesne County life.
When we go on vacation, I never ask, are we there yet? Because my daddy makes sure each stop we make is at Eagles Landing. They have such cool things for kids, like a petting zoo. They have the cleanest bathrooms on earth, and Daddy doesn't freak out pulling up to the pumps, because they're really big and he says it's the best gas in the world. And you can get your tire fixed, like we had to. Oh, and their food is so yummy. Eagles Landing is so much fun, I don't care if we ever get there.
It's time to save big during the Yamaha Let's Ride sales event with as low as 2.99% APR for 36 months, plus up to $4,000 customer cash on the industry's hottest models. So see your local Yamaha dealer today for huge savings. Then, let's ride.
Get your new Yamaha at Stedman's Recreation. Ride hard, play hard.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. You know, you can't not love a day that ends like this.
It's incredible. I mean, really, I can't even imagine living here, like just living in this town of Panguitch. You just buzz up here, it takes you like half hour and you're here and you see this.
That's true.
It's fabulous.
You look all the way across, and across that ridge and just down there it gets really bright pink.
Yeah.
And that's Red Canyon that's right next to Bryce Canyon. So you've got some great terrain down here, and that's one of the many directions you can go.
Exactly. But we need to talk about our calendar of events.
Yes.
And our sticker winner.
Well, let's start with the sticker winner.
Okay.
Right now, let's find out who the lucky winner is for our sticker contest this week. Isn't that a fantastic picture? Well, it is our contest winner for this week, submitted by Bo Simonson, and it looks like he's going to win this incredible and powerful Safari LT portable charger from Lion Energy. Next time he's out on the trail, he'll have all the portable power he needs with the Safari LT. Visit lionenergy.com for more details, and it also looks like Bo's going to win a $100 gas and gift card from our friends at Eagles Landing, which is the best place to get that real gasoline, Clear 91.
Congratulations. Don't forget to call us at 801-947-8888 and claim your prize.
Well, right now we're going to move on to the calendar of events. Next up. Coming up November 7th through the 9th is the Side-by-Side Adventure Rally down in Hurricane, Utah at the Sand Hollow State Park. The rally features vendors, great food, guided trail rides, and demo rides with some of the industry's latest machines. Then, just as our season is slowing down for winter, theirs is just heating up. In Mesquite is the Polaris Can-Am store ride to kick off their riding season. So be sure to head to their events page, PolarisCanAmWorld.com, to register now. Now, let's take a look at next week's show. Next week, Kevin and Gina are headed back down to Tikaboo for the rally at North Lake Powell, which was a great ride that took off right from the Tikaboo Lodge and up into the Henry Mountain Range. Then, we're following the NOHVCC, the Novak, as they head out to the Great Trails Convention, which hosts leaders from the community to help them understand the principles of trail design and how to lay out the best off-road trails in the world. Finally, Reese and Marianne are back as they take us out to one of Utah's most unusual wedding venues, at the Church of Dirt. Well, next week's show looks absolutely great.
It does, and I think it's going to be a lot cleaner than this week's show. Because we got so dirty today, but we had so much fun.
It's a badge of honor to have it's called road base. It's like makeup base, it's road base.
It does, you do look much younger. We had so much fun today.
True, couple of things to remember. One, for state parks, be careful out there. You know, when fire season is upon you, you are driving a machine that has a hot muffler. It could, if you don't have a spark arrestor, you could be the one that starts that next big fire. Don't be that person.
Yeah.
Watch out where you're building campfires. Just think ahead and think smart so that we don't lose more of these precious forest lands.
So true, and douse that fire out when you leave, right? You got to douse it.
Better yet, take a bag, scoop up the ashes of the logs you burned, take them out too, and leave the area nice and pristine.
Yeah, that way, save the beautiful little wildlife in people's homes.
That's, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, big thanks to the Hitching Post. They rent machines until the end of October, and if we're seeing the show past that, then that means they've closed up the shop. But late next spring, they will have razors of every size and shape.
Oh yeah, and they got those really cool Polaris slingshots that they're gonna rent too.
They do, and rumor has it they're also gonna have motorcycles here. So if you're just out with a camper and headed to camp, all the toys are here waiting for you.
That's so fun. This is a great playground.
Yeah, great clubs down here, great trails. Just remember, there's adventure around every bend.
You just got to get out there and create your own adventure
at your leisure. Now, Randy was saying the restaurant.
We can walk there. We can walk there.
Okay, well, all right.